I had always found my father's hunting of monitor lizards deeply unpleasant. But perhaps this time, something in the way I saw it began to shift. It was the time when a friend from the Southeast Asian Hunting Association called him over to assess the situation. That was all my father told me, which only made me more curious. In the end, I decided to go with him, to truly understand what he did. We followed a group of local hunters to a place that was neither forest nor hill, but a murky, slow-moving river. On both sides lay thick mud and dense bushes, so suffocating that you felt standing still for too long might be enough to be swallowed whole. My father stood by a set of long, winding drag marks, as if something heavy had crawled through not long before, and said to me in a calm voice, "They come up onto the bank every day." We moved closer to the riverbank, where I had to witness something I had never seen with my own eyes before. A man lay right at the edge of the water, seemingly asleep, completely unguarded, as if he were far too used to this. And then, the surface of the water stirred. Not the usual ripples, but a movement, very slight, very slow, yet deliberate. A long, dark head slowly emerged. A monitor lizard. It did not rush. It made no sound. It simply climbed out of the water, inch by inch, its body trailing behind like a living rope pulling itself onto land. We kept moving. By now, I began to see things differently. The patches of churned-up soil. The broken low branches. All of them were signs that this place was far from the peaceful appearance it seemed to have. A large monitor lizard appeared ahead. It moved, very slightly. Its eyes opened, scanning its surroundings. My father remained still, holding his position for a few seconds, long enough for the silence itself to start unsettling me. Then a sharp chew cut through the air. The animal collapsed, its body jerking violently for a few seconds before going completely still. I looked at it for a long time. Not because I wanted to, but because I could no longer make myself turn away immediately like before. At the same time, from the southern direction, another dry crack echoed, forcing us to run over quickly. Ah! It turned out my father's teammate had also spotted another one lurking in the bushes. Its size, clearly that of a full-grown adult. With that kind of weight, turning over soil or snapping branches was nothing difficult. I watched it lying there. I didn't feel happy. But I didn't feel particularly sad either. My emotions blurred together like that. We continued along the river. Suddenly, the sound of water splashing came from ahead. Another one was climbing up from the muddy current. Its head and back rose above the surface, coated in mud and water, blending almost perfectly with its surroundings. It paused. Its forked tongue flicked out repeatedly, as if testing the air. I had the feeling it knew. Knew that something wasn't right. My father didn't wait. A shot rang out. The lizard jerked, then slipped back into the water. No further movement. Only the rippling surface remained, quickly settling back into stillness as if nothing had ever happened. I stared down at it for a long time. Part of me hoped it was still alive. Another part wasn't sure I wanted to know the answer. About 10 minutes later, a sudden rain began to fall. Not heavy, but enough to reduce my father's visibility. Everything around us blurred. The sound of rain hitting the water nearly swallowed the entire space. We stood under a low cluster of trees when a movement right beside the bushes startled me. Another monitor lizard. It crawled low. Very slow. As if it believed the rain was enough to conceal it. My father took position. No warning. No hesitation. The shot rang out, partially drowned by the rain. The animal dropped instantly, lying still in the mud and water, almost without any reaction at all. I began to realize something that disturbed me even more than anything else. That everything was becoming normal to the people around me. As the rain lightened, we returned near the original area. I thought it was over. But then the water moved again. Another large monitor lizard climbed up. Slower. More cautious. It stopped several times, observing its surroundings, as if sensing something I could not. In that moment, I truly wanted it to turn back. Just turn its head. Dive down. Disappear. As if it had never appeared at all. But it didn't. The final shot rang out. The animal collapsed right at the water's edge. No time to react. No time to run. When everything ended, the river returned to its original quiet state. If someone came here now, they would never know what had taken place just minutes before. I stood there, looking at the murky water, at the churned mud, and for the first time, I understood why people had called my father all the way out here. But understanding does not mean I felt any better. It only meant that this time, I was no longer certain that opposing him completely was the right thing to do.